Welcome back to another 100 Days in Dragonfire. In our last episode, we saw that Tinyturtle and Scuba Steve took on the Fire Nation who had stolen their dragons. Once they reached the Fire Nation, they found a lab where not only were they keeping the dragons, they were experimenting on them too. That's when they decided not only did they have to rescue their dragons, but they had to free the rest too. After a long-fought battle with the Fire Nation and their lava golems, they managed to defeat them and set all the dragons they had captured free. Tinyturtle and Scuba Steve were victorious this time, but I have a feeling that's not the last we'll hear from the Fire Nation. Just as things were starting to settle in their new Myth Nation castle, they woke up to some terrible news. One of their soldiers found a ransom note left by dragon pirates that said they'd stolen 2 of their dragons, which meant only one thing: they had to try and get them back. Finding these dragon-stealing pirates was not going to be easy, so they were going to need all the help of their newly recruited soldiers. To rescue their dragons, they were going to have to complete 5 main tasks. 1. Build a harbor close to their nation. 2. Find a boat-building expert and build a boat. 3. Sail the sea in search of the pirates. 4. Capture a pirate and interrogate him to find the location of their dragons. And finally, number 5. Storm the pirates' HQ by air and sea attack to rid them of their lands and rescue their dragons. It's not going to be easy, but if they want to get their dragons back, they're gonna have to try. Can they do it in 100 days? Let us know in the comments below. And if you want to see another 100 Days in Dragonfire, then be sure to leave a big thumbs up.
And before we start, guys, if you want to get the mod for yourself and access to exclusive new content every single month, then be sure to check out the Patreon link down below where you can download the Dragonfire mod. This is the only place you can get it, and we have got new content on the first of every single month. Enjoy. Welcome back to our next 100 Days in Dragonfire. Unfortunately, our first day of the next 100 Days in Dragonfire starts off with a bit of a tragedy. After myself and Scuba Steve wake up, we find 2 of our dragons are missing, and there was a ransom note left from dragon pirates. The ransom note says, "Hear ye the dwellers of this here castle. We have taken your dragons to use as part of our pirate fleet. Farewell." On days 2 and 3, we kind of panicked. Myself and Scuba Steve searched around our nation to see if we could find the dragons, but there was no sign of them anywhere. We began to fear the worst for them. On day 4, I decided that this place wasn't secure enough, so I ordered the Myth Nation soldiers to tighten up security, do more patrols, and scout the lands surrounding our nation, just to make sure this place is a fortress. Day 5. We gathered our most trusted soldiers and held a council meeting. We decided that the only way to stop the dragon pirates and rescue our dragons was to find them and fight them. That meant building our own harbour and ship to match the dragon pirates' strength. Days 6 to 8 we spent preparing for our journey. We needed food, water, and some weapons. Only the essentials.
So that means that I should pack light, right? No room for all of my stuff?
Yeah, I said only the essentials, Scuba Steve. Days 9 and 10. When we had all of our supplies, we took off on our dragons. That's right, the closer the harbour was to the Myth Nation, the easier it would be to defend it. Finally, on day 11, we found it. The perfect place to build our harbour. I laid out some basic foundations for it, but we would need supplies. That meant gathering a lot of materials to get started on the build. Days 12 to 15, we started to get organized. Naturally, I took charge of this project as chief architect, and Scuba Steve was in charge of,
I was in charge of doing all of the work. Well, pretty much. while Tinyturtle, well, he kind of just stood there with a clipboard giving me orders.
Now for the hard part. Days 16 to 20, we worked day and night non-stop together to build our dream harbour.
And when it was fully finished, we invited some Myth Nation soldiers and their dragons over to guard it.
On days 21 and 22, Scuba Steve and I both tried to build our own ships, but neither of them were really up to scratch.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure I set a world record for the quickest sinking boat of all time.
Yeah, I definitely think it's time we found an expert. Day 23. Today we took off in search of a master shipbuilder to help us build the boats we needed. Where was he? We didn't know, but that wouldn't stop us. Days 24 to 25, we flew far and wide in search of a coastal town where there could be a master shipbuilder, and after a while, we actually found one.
We knew that if we were gonna find a shipbuilder, it would be right here.
Day 26. We landed and put our dragons into their dragon orbs and had a look around. This town was buzzing with life, but where would we find a shipbuilder?
Yeah, I mean, neither of us knew this town, so we thought it would be best if we split up in order to find a shipbuilder quicker.
Days 27 to 30, we asked all around the entire town. We knocked on doors, we followed down leads, and Scuba Steve even chased a guy thinking he was a shipbuilder, but it turned out he was just running away from Scuba Steve.
Everybody we asked gave us both the same answer. Everyone suggested Admiral Sea Dog. They said that we could find him at the local tavern.
By day 31, we got to the tavern. It was pretty busy, but we spotted Admiral Sea Dog immediately.
Yeah, because he had a wooden peg leg and he was like, "Yar me mateys."
Yeah, he does sound like that actually. Anyways, Admiral Sea Dog decided to help us build a ship right away after we told him all about the dragon pirates. Days 32 and 33, we made a bit of a plan with Admiral Sea Dog and then left town immediately on our dragons, and Admiral Sea Dog brought his.
Finally, we had got what we came for. It was time to get back to our newly built harbour and get to work on building a brand new ship.
On day 34, we made it back to the harbour. Admiral Sea Dog had a good inspection and checked everything, and he said it was exceptional work.
He then explained that we needed about 1 billion supplies, which only meant one thing: more work for me.
On days 35 to 37, we both set off to get materials.
Yeah, and surprisingly, Tinyturtle actually helped me this time, so it was a lot easier.
We mined, we chopped, and we did pretty much everything else we could to get anything the Admiral needed to build our ship. On day 38, we brought the Admiral back everything we had. He took it all and started immediately building us our very own ship. Hopefully he lives up to his reputation as a master shipbuilder, but we'll see. And finally, after a lot of hard work, our ship was built. We were ready to set sail and hunt some dragon pirates down. Let's just hope we're not too late to save our dragons. It's day 41 and our boat is ready. We said our goodbyes and gave last orders to the Myth Nation soldiers who waved us off. It was now time to hop on in and set sail in search of those pesky dragon pirates. The next day, we quickly realized that neither of us had any experience sailing a ship, and it felt like we were going in circles. In fact, we were going in circles. Days 43 to 45, and after some early mishaps, we finally had the fresh sea breeze in our hair. We sailed onwards in search of the dragon pirates, but soon ran into some pretty treacherous conditions. And on day 46, just when we thought things couldn't get any worse, we got caught in the middle of some really thick fog. Days 47 to 48 were a nightmare. We couldn't see anything, so I had to think of something, had to come up with a plan that would work.
Yeah, so that's when Tinyturtle said I should fly up on my dragon and guide us out of all of this fog. On days 49 to 50, I rose high into the sky like a majestic eagle, or dragon, and saw the end of the fog. We weren't that far off, so I guided Tinyturtle and the ship out of it and into the clear.
Day 51. Now that we were out of the fog, we continued sailing on our quest.
Yeah, that was until we saw this big bright light on a nearby island. So we decided to sail our ship straight towards it.
As we sailed closer, we realized there was something else we didn't notice. There was a huge dragon pirate ship parked up in the harbour. Day 53, and we had finally tracked them down. We decided to park our ship up and fly the outskirts of the burning town on our dragons to see if we could spot anything. Days 54 to 55, and our hunt for the dragon pirates was over. We had found them, and let me tell you, they were up to no good. They were looting, pillaging, stealing dragons, all while setting the town on fire. If we were going to see what these dragon pirates were up to, we were going to need a hidden camp close by, so we made one on days 56 and 57. We kept it small enough because we didn't want to attract too much attention. We spent the next few days being as quiet and stealthy as we could be. We spied on the dragon pirates. They were loading cages of dragons onto their pirate ship. They had dragon napped a lot more dragons than we first thought. Now it was time to find out where they were keeping them all. We went back to our camp to think up the next stage of our plan.
On days 61 to 62, we decided it would be a good idea to keep track of all the pirates' movements over the next few days.
This way, we could learn all of the routes they follow when on guard duty or patrols. Day after day, we watched them as they collected more and more dragons. These dragon pirates weren't going anywhere soon.
They had so many dragons, there was no way they could take care of them properly.
On days 66 to 67, we headed back to our camp and brainstormed a plan.
There was no way we could take these dragons head on, because then we'd never see our own dragons again.
So we geared up and got ready for a stealth mission. Days 68 to 70, we waited until the cover of nightfall to make our move. We snuck on board the pirate ship and took a look around.
We saw a lot of captured dragons in cages, but we couldn't find ours there.
On days 71 and 72, after we left the pirate ship and headed back to our little base, it was time to rethink our strategy. If our dragons weren't on the ship, they must be at the pirates' HQ. We really need to find it. Day 73, and at this stage we knew all of the pirates' movements.
Oh yeah, we knew everything about them, more than their own mothers knew.
We noticed that one always patrolled a certain area alone. We decided we needed to capture him and question him about the Pirates HQ. Over the next 2 days, we interrogated this guy, but he was a tough nut to crack. He eventually lost it and finally pointed out the location of the Dragon Pirates HQ on a map. Days 78 to 80, we spent time packing up our little camp and we snuck back onto our ship to set sail because we knew exactly where the Pirates HQ was.
It was time to go and finally find our dragons.
On days 81 and 82, we sailed our ship far and wide in search of the Dragon Pirates. We saw many wonderful dragons along the way, but we had a mission and that was to find our dragons. Day 83. Scuba Steve took charge of the directions, which was a very bad idea. We were so lost.
Yeah, my bad. I was actually reading them upside down.
So I took back over and we were back on track. On day 84, we sailed straight towards the coordinates we got from the dragon pirate we had questioned.
We were getting closer and closer to the Dragon Pirates HQ, but Tinyturtle thought it would be a good idea to get some backup.
We were going up against a full band of evil dragon pirates, so I got Scuba Steve to send his dragon back to the Myth Nation with the coordinates to the Dragon Pirate HQ so some of our soldiers could meet us there. Days 85 and 86, we were here. We finally found the Dragon Pirates HQ, Skull Island.
This place was spookier than I could have ever imagined. Dragon pirates everywhere, a big skull thingy, and so many captured dragons.
On day 87, we pulled our boat up close by and made our way sneakily onto the island.
We wanted to keep our boat hidden. If the dragon pirates found out we were here, they would not be happy.
Days 88 to 90, we spent our time scouting the entire island from top to bottom. This island was more treacherous than we thought, but we found a lot of dragons.
Most of them were locked up and very, very badly treated. My guess was they were probably kidnapped by the dragon pirates.
Yeah, and as for the dragon pirates, there were a lot more of them than we first thought too. Days 91 and 92 we spent on our ship coming up with a plan of attack. Do we go in stealthy or is it an all-out attack?
When we finally made it back to our ship, we spotted the Myth Nation soldiers arriving on their brand new ship.
They pulled their ship up close to ours and unloaded all of their supplies. We were now ready to fight. Days 93 to 96 were spent fighting the dragon pirates. We had the element of surprise because we stayed hidden, so we caught them completely off guard.
Scuba Steve and Tinyturtle fighting side by side again along with the Myth Nation soldiers? These dragon pirates didn't stand a chance.
No, they didn't. Although we were outnumbered, we fought them off wave after wave until the remaining pirates fled. Days 97 to 99, we found all of the captured dragons around the island, including our own kidnapped dragons. We released them all and they were free to do whatever they wanted.
Some flew away, high into the sky, and others, well, they decided to join the Myth Nation.
Our nation was growing, and with each passing day, more dragons joined our cause. But right now, Scuba Steve and I were just happy to have our own dragons back safely. Day 100, and after another long 100 days in Dragonfire, we finally completed all of our tasks and saved our dragons. It was time to go home. We sailed into our harbour where we were met by the Myth Nation soldiers. We were home and it was time to continue building up our nation. Will our next 100 days in Dragonfire be as adventurous as this one was? Guess we'll just have to find out.